Welcome back to Kakepipe Automotive. So in this episode we're going to do a few little upgrades, a few little changes to the car, ready for moving into hopefully the race season next year. Going to try and get in a few more track days before the end of the year, just get the car really dialed in. We've still got a ton of weight to lose, there's still a lot of alignment issues we can play with. I'd like to get more caster on the front. There's a number of ways that we can do that, but first and foremost on the list is baffling the sump. So I've picked up a brand new sump and I've picked up the baffling plates. They were on eBay, I think they were about 35 quid, but they're all kind of generic. So this is just a quick mock-up. I've got a little bit of fettling to do on this edge because it should line up just the right hand side, just the right hand side of these bolts on both of there, and then the plate should be able to fit on. I might just nick this corner off as well, just to let it sit in this on this radius a little bit more. But essentially that allows me to baffle the sump, because at the moment the original sump that's on the engine is just like this, it's fully open, and I'm very concerned with the faster we are going and the higher cornering speeds that we're getting, we're going to lose oil pressure at some point due to not having the baffles. Now there is an option of running the 24 valve 3.2, I believe this is from. You can pick these up super cheap at the moment on eBay. They are just Chinesium, but there's really not any difference in the weight, if I'm honest. But these come pre-baffled, but the only thing is you do have to either plate off this, which is the oil level housing filter sensor thing, debris, but they're exact fit apparently. I've been told that you can use the stock oil pump on these ones because they are a lot deeper. In actual fact, they look about right, to be honest. It's not the shallowed one from the 3.2 on the Mark 5, the R32 one. I know that. So that is another option at a later date. I'm going to try that first on the spare engine, which is going to be the 3-litre engine. And this one is just to safeguard me for the near future. So like I said, it needs a little bit of fettling from the manufacturers. It just needs about 3 or 4 mil taken off this corner, and then a little bit taken off the bottom corner in there, just to let it go down a little bit more, and probably a little bit off this bit. But we'll quickly get that done, and then we've got some pictures that I found online of where obviously this design came from, and then we'll look at getting it on the car once I've drained the oil. Right, so I think I'm about there. I've been fettling them with the pen and the file just to kind of shave bits off where I can, but essentially, unless I remake them, that's as good as it's going to get, I believe. So we'll stick with this. You can see where I can tack weld it on, so I'm just going to mark up on here now where I need to grind the powder coat off, and then we're going to TIG weld and tack them on all the way around. So yeah, let's see how we get on. Right, so now that that's all cleaned up and everything, I'm just going to whip round and tack weld this plate in first, and then we'll move on to the second plate and get all that in. Yeah, and then I think she's about done, ready to go on the engine when I do the oil change. There we go, done. Just tack weld where it needs to be. It's not going anywhere, obviously, but hopefully, fingers crossed, this is enough to stop any kind of oil loss on the pump, which would be great, so we don't fuck the engine. So now that the oil's drained, I'm going to whip the oil filter off, just up here, and check that out, and then we'll get the sump off and put the new baffled sump on. Happy days. A little bit of clean up to do underneath there. There's a little bit of residue, dirt and stuff, so I'll clean it while I'm underneath there. Right, so I'm not going to lie, something's obviously gone wrong with this. I don't know what those brown marks are. It looks like as I've put the filter in, the seal has got trapped, or it's just, I don't know, it's not looking good for whatever it is. Also, there is some goldness, so to speak, to the oil. This is a fucking mess. There's bits in it, there's all sorts in it. I don't know, you can't really see it because it's so dark still in there, but it needed a change. So I'm hoping that changing this and the oil and everything like that comes up good now, and we should be good to go for a bit longer on this engine. One thing I am noticing, it is a little bit milky. Not sure if that's because I've just sprayed things down a little bit and maybe it's covered it, I don't know. It wasn't milky when it was coming out, there's no milk on the oil filler cap or the dipstick, so I don't know. But there are a few little bits on this. Let me just get all that crap off. On this, I don't know if you'll see that. Very minute amount of magnetic material. So what we'll do now is, I'm not going to bother cutting that open, I really can't be bothered. Going to clean all of this business up. I'm going to clean the car side up, get the new filter on, get it all, and then get the sump off. The sump is the next thing to take off so we can put the baffled sump on. How well I put this on. Oh, fuck me. Right, I'm just gonna drop it down and let that fuck up. So, we'll put that up. Fucking hell. Okay. Something's not right. I'm not sure if you can see this, and I'll try and zoom in, but there is a ton of, I don't know what that is, carbon maybe, I don't know, on this pump. Like, look at that, that's from the top, that's black. What I might do while this is out, get a new oil pump, treat her to it. It's new, it's, you know, I've not done that many miles on this pump, but I think I will get a new one. Right, there we go. After a week's wait, just over a week, I had to wait for this pump to come in. Yeah, she's all fitted, all bolted up. So what I do is I normally fit the pump first, and then I fit this pipe afterwards, and I kind of just go around each bolt and just keep doing them one until it's nice and snug. So yeah, now that's on. Here's the old oil pan without the baffles. So what I'm going to do is just get that out of the way. Get that there. I need to change the sump plug from this to the new baffled one, and then we'll get the new baffled one on here. Obviously we still need to put the new filter in there as well. So we'll get that done now, and then fill it back up with some oil, and hopefully should be golden again. I think that's about it for this one. Bring you back shortly. Oh, so that was a bit of a nightmare to get back on, but so the sump's back on, the oil filter's back on, everything's done up. The only thing I haven't done is put on the dust shield for the gearbox. I'll do that after I've made sure that the sump is sealed. So now it's really time to put some more oil in and see if she holds. So I'm just gonna drop the oil in until the dipstick reads something, and then just look for leaks and stuff like that. Then I'll go around and keep topping up until I'm happy with the level. Once she's settled in, I'm gonna crank the engine by hand just to get a bit of oil flowing around, and then I will crank the engine and see if she starts to supply, which she should. I've done this many times, so we should be good. So that's all done, nice and easy. Not. The longest bit was waiting for the oil pump to turn up. The guy was on holiday and I couldn't get it in time, so we had to wait. So primed the engine, done all that, had it running for about 2 or 3 minutes. The oil pressure light didn't come on, so we're good. So what I'll do now is let that settle down, and then just look for leaks. I'm going to clear underneath the car, and then leave it for a day, because it's not going anywhere, so we can leave it for a day. And then come back, check for leaks. If it's leaking, fix the leaks, which hopefully, fingers crossed, there won't be. Once I'm happy that the sump's not just pissing oil, I'll pull it back outside, let it run for a good 15-20 minutes, get right up to temperature, and then see where we get to from there. But yeah, she should be good. She sounds really nice and quiet now, which she should be. So yeah, that's just something I wanted to do on the maintenance side of the car. Just refresh the oil. We've done, I think we said 4 and 3 laps, 4 track days, 3 laps with this engine without replacing the oil. So I've given it a bit of hell. Now we've done that, what I'm going to do next is probably just look at the coolant, clear that out and refill it. It's not a big job, it's quite easy the way I've done things. So just maintenance on top of maintenance keeps the car running. So cheers for sticking around, guys. I'll catch you on the next one.